don't know what to say about the situation in Shatila. As you see maybe in your eyes, that it's misery.
Even someone who has spent a long time with refugees in this camp could not find the words to adequately describe their hardship.
It's a small area established for 3,000 people. Now we have about 22,000 people in the same location, the same size, which make the life is really difficult in all aspects.
Fawad Abu Khalid used to live in a camp in Syria. When the civil war there struck, he and his family sought refuge amongst their fellow Palestinians in Lebanon's Shatila camp. But what they found was a community already struggling to get by on limited resources.
العائلة الجيدة هون بتاكل وجبتين، هاي العائلة الجيدة جدا بتاكل وجبتين. والعائلة العادية بتاكل وجبة، وفي عائلات أحيانا ما بتلحق الوجبة.
The International Committee of the Red Cross built the camp as a temporary shelter for hundreds of thousands of Palestinians fleeing the 1948 Palestine War. Decades later, the Palestinians are still here, refugees with limited rights.
They don't have the right to work. They don't have the right to own a house. There's difficulty in their being able to travel easily, to take a visa to other countries. They have extremely big problems.
As of 2017, some 500,000 Palestinian refugees in Lebanon are registered with the United Nations Relief and Works Agency, an estimated 10% of the country's population. Unlike citizens, Palestinian refugees cannot obtain free treatment in Lebanese hospitals and are barred from most public schools.
They are not living a normal, decent life. This year in May, it will be 70 years. And it's not fair that they should be living like this.
Since the Palestinians first arrived in Lebanon, they have been joined by other communities fleeing conflict and poverty. Among them, 1.5 million Syrians who escaped war, as well as Kurds, Gypsies, and even impoverished Lebanese, all fighting for survival. In Shatila camp, that means more people in an already overcrowded space.
For example, this place is so dark. In the day dark. What the people they do?
Iman Shihadi, a Palestinian, volunteers for a youth center in Shatila and has grown very familiar with the camp's problems.
Look. Wow. Here one example for million of this show in the camp. Everything with each other. As you see, satellites. Right. The cable for satellites, the cable for internet, the cable for water, the cable for electricity, the electricity of generator. You have many cables with each other.
Yeah, with
and
power
it's so low
voltage.
And it's so low for our heads.
Yeah, right.
If you walk and there is one, for example, as you see here right. It's not normal cable. They put shorttones to save it, not if they have water, touch the water and touch you, you will die.
Wow.
Yeah.
She then shows me a blue box, which she says was part of a $3 million international donor project to bring fresh water to the camp, which ultimately failed.
We have to have sweet water here in Shatila camp. At the end, they have a problem with the community popular to paying for 20,000 every month, every person or every family. That's they have a lot of a problem for this thing, and they stop that.
20,000 Lebanese lira is equivalent to about $13.
So what kind of water is available here in the camp?
Salty water.
Salty water?
Yes.
So how do you make water? Do you boil the water?
No.
You just drink
We depend on it. We depend on it.
The United Nations, along with some public and private NGOs, provide the camp's residents with some basic services, but it's never enough, and the refugees are still left fending for themselves. Even security is left largely to armed Palestinian factions. Lebanese police have no power or presence here, making the camp vulnerable to criminality.
In general, the camp is almost isolated, and it's margined out of the responsibility of everybody. They can be influenced, as you see, some terrorist gangs or organizations. Maybe they fool some of them go to drugs, some of them go to violence, some of them the depression, oppression, and some of them they really feel that they are living in neglecting life. So not all of them they can manage, really. it's affecting very bad.
Yet amid the poverty and misery, some NGOs have stepped in to provide some relief and give refugees a chance at a better life. Mahmoud Abbas Abu Majid is the director of the Children's Youth Center, or CYC, which helps Shatila's youth through education and recreational activities. Refugee children in Lebanon have limited access to education, so the CYC offers courses to ensure they continue learning. Despite the difficulties, Iman decided to live in Shatila to be closer to the children she teaches.
How long have you lived here in the camp?
17 years.
You were born here?
No, I'm born out. But when I become big and I study sociology in Lebanese University, I take my decision to live with my people.
To live with your people. So you could have the opportunity to live outside of this camp.
Yes.
But you choose to live here.
Yes, my life here. Yeah. But during this 2 years, 3 years, I lay if I say I don't like to be out. Because the situation, the life is so bad, so difficult. Everything was a change, the electricity, the water, the life, the environment, the people. Our habits had changed, our traditional had changed, everything was changed here. Nothing like before.
She says life has become even harder for residents here after more refugees arrived.
If you have, for example, 5 ampere the electricity for your home, now it's become less because there is the population in the camp increasing.
Right. You're having to share the little you already
now,
had.
after the war in Syria, many days we sit without electricity, many days we sit without water.
Right.
Yeah, many days we have the situations, it's not normal. And this is make a lot of a problem in our life.
At times, this has caused friction amongst the residents. Just outside Shatila in the Sabra refugee camp, Sylvia Haddad and her staff at the Joint Christian Committee for Social Services, or JCC, witnessed the people's daily struggles. The group aims not only to help refugees acquire skills to earn a living, but also to bridge religious divides.
It was in this very camp during the Lebanese Civil War back in September of 1982 that upwards of 3,000 mostly Muslim, Palestinian and Lebanese people were killed by a militia closely aligned to the Christian Lebanese right-wing party, the Phalange, which makes the work that the JCC does in this camp today all that more meaningful.
For more than 6 decades, the JCC has provided practical education and vocational training to refugees and other impoverished communities. Although refugees in Lebanon do not have the right to work, they can open their own businesses.
Now, some of our graduates from the electronics, for example, they have been able to open their own shops around the camps. And then they employ others who are graduating. The hairdressing, the barbering, they are able to open their own shops in the camps, around the camps, and also to take some of our graduates.
Born and raised in Shatila, 16-year-old Marianne dreams of owning her own salon one day.
إنه كفلسطينية أنا بتعرفوا إنه يعني وبالمخيم ما في مجال إنه نشتغل والفلسطينية إنه ما مش وين ما كان بيقدروا يشتغلوا. حابة أشتغل أول شيء وبس إنه أتقوى كتير يعني بشغلي حابة أفتح صالون لإلي لوحدي ومنه بصير لإلي إنه في زبائن وبجيب حدا بيساعدني.
That's exactly what Mervet Youssef did more than a decade ago. After training with JCC, she opened this beauty salon at the Sabra refugee camp.
أول شيء تعلمت بالكنائس يعني أنا كان عندي الرغبة الحب للمهنة فتت على المعهد وتعلمت بالكنائس وبعدين يعني شوي شوي فتحت المحل أول شيء فتحت ببيتي وبعدين كان المحل شوي صغير يعني شوي شوي بيصير واحد.
Her salon has provided work to women as more and more Palestinian men struggle to find jobs.
طبعا خاصة نحن بهالايام ما في شغل ما في يعني حتى الرجال بيكونوا عمرار كثير بيكونوا عم بيشتغلوا بيكون خفيف شغلهم يعني ما فيك الا لما المرأة ما تساعد يعني بدها مهنة يعني وبعدين تكون شريفة تكون محترمة تكون سيدة نفسها يعني بنفس الوقت تكون عم تنفع حالها وعم تنفع بيتها.
Another woman getting an education from JCC is Nadia Ghader, a Lebanese. The death of her mother when she was young kept Nadia from attending school, so she grew up illiterate. At JCC, she's learning to read and write from scratch.
عم بقول لك إذا مثلا دق الباب وبدي مثلا شغلي يعني كيف بدي أقول لك اسمي بصمته بصم يعني إنه مش فاهمته يعني بس إنه أمضي اسمي أوكي بس اتضايق كتير أي شيء ورقة ما أقدر إني أقراها أثر فيي يعني في شغلات كتير بالحياة بيحتاجها الإنسان لأنه يكون على القليل يعرف يقرأ شيء بسيط أنه إذا بدي أشتغل شيء بحياتي.
JCC says it's providing refugees a crucial service, but the group now faces a struggle of their own, closure, after their building was bought by a development company. Sylvia says she's concerned about the camp's residents.
The community really needs us because we have a nursery school, a kindergarten, we have women's programs, literacy programs. We are serving the community with so many programs. Everybody knows us. I hope we will not, but if we close, it will be a very black day.
NGO workers like Mahmoud say they're frustrated with the hurdles facing refugees in Shatila and the lack of international political support to help alleviate their plight.
In spite of all what we are trying to provide or what we are trying to do, raising awareness, developing their talents, their skills, their hobbies, etc. But the situation of the camp, the situation of this location, it's beyond our capacity as NGO or as NGOs in the camp to change or to improve fully the life of the children.
And all this does little to evoke promising times ahead.
As refugees, they are not having the right to develop their communities, to develop their lives to this. Where is the human rights? Where are those who talk about peace or talk about democracy in the world? Why they don't act or they don't make any pressure to protect the children in Palestine?
يعني شو نهايتنا نحن هون هيك بس هاي القصة يعني ما في مستقبل حتى ما بيعطوكي أمل تاخذي مستقبل.
It's unclear when or even if these refugees will ever be able to return home. That makes the work of people like Mahmoud and Sylvia all that more critical for an ever-growing population with an uncertain future. For Assignment Asia, I'm Natalie Carney in Beirut, Lebanon.